mighty fist of God, Armageddon will descend upon the city of Los Angeles, the city of sin.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your Stone Loki, and with me today, of course, is my co-host here on Zero Hour, because shit, we're going to be talking some Zero Hour for the media this morning. Zeropium, what is up, brother? How you doing?
Good morning, Loki. Good morning, chat. Ready to kickstart another fantastic week for y'all. It is great to see you all up and at 'em. Adam, I don't know an Adam, whatever, up and at them. Do it. Oh man, typical Zero.
Adam?
Oh my god, typical Zero screwing up the morning intro. Oh man, great to see you all. Sorry, we'll do it live. Yeah. So
what's wrong with you?
Oh man,
I'm here.
I don't know, man. Also, quick shout out to Chris Persia, who said that a certain furry freakazoid out there has swam across a crass. God damn, what's wrong with me? I'm feeling very crass this morning. So anyway, yes, this is live. A certain furry freakazoid out there swam across Lake Ontario to come and try to find me. Well, I got to take a little bit of sympathy on that, because Lake Erie probably would have been a better bet. It's a little bit closer, but oh well.
Good morning, Andy. How you doing, brother? Andy Anderson's here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to anybody out there I missed. I don't think I missed anybody, but if I missed you, I'm sorry. Good morning.
It was a lively
intro. Everybody. DJ Ronnie G, good morning. Very lively intro, but
very
that's
lively.
What we do here.
That's what we do.
Lively.
Put the cookies down. Stop eating my wife's cookies.
Will not cost my wife cookies.
And then he punches a reindeer. Oh my god. Woo!
Crass.
Kicking it live, doing it in
crass.
style, baby.
Crass.
It's very crass.
Remember that. It's very crass.
It's very crass. Very, very
Gun
fresh.
Bunny and Shockwave. Good morning, Gun Bunny and Shockwave. How are you guys doing? I didn't mean to miss you.
Aw.
I got Psychodorp 9, but I missed Gun Bunny and Shockwave. What's wrong with me? You want that alphabetical or chronological?
Here's a challenge for you. Do both.
It's true. It's true. No spoilers. So I'm going to make sure, because Gun Bunny said something, and I did see your message, Gun Bunny. No spoilers. So we're going to put that up. No spoilers. Please, if you've seen the movie, no spoilers. People have got an idea of what the movie's about. Obviously, this movie is about child trafficking. I don't think that's going to be a spoiler. So it's got Jim Caviezel in it, Mira Sorvino. This movie is about Tim Ballard, a former government agent, who obviously goes on a quest to free kids. Now, you would think that this would be like, oh my God, the most heartwarming, touching story of the year. Huge celebration for Sound of Freedom. But that's not what's happening. And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that this morning. We're going to get to why. We're going to get to why, because the why is even more interesting than what we're seeing in the news. MB Geeks Bar and Grill with the $10 super chat says, going to see the movie in 2 hours. Anyone wonder why woke in Hollywood and media have an issue and downplay this issue, serious issue, and bringing awareness to it? Why would they do that? Well, we're going to answer that. We're going to answer that question. We're going to get their explanation, and then we're going to give our explanation. MB Geek. So we're gonna address this. Thank you so much, brother, for that $10 super chat. This one's just for you because I know you love this one. Skull!
Long live the fighters!
Long live the fighters, brother.
Ow!
So, Gun Bunny says, our rescue is the organization that works to save children from trafficking, and Shockwave and I donate to that. Absolutely awesome. Anyone who contributes to this, you are an awesome individual for wanting these things to end. Anything to help save these kids must be done. Yes. Conspiratorial and indoctrination. That's right. Anything they see as saving children today is a problem. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? We're coming for your children.
Yeah.
That's the chant they give.
How ironic, how oxymoronic, and how contradictory.
And me and Adega have touched on this a few times on our Thursday night show. So I want to pull up give me just a minute. Because I know I've got the Rolling Stone. Let's see.
The Rolling Stone article.
Yes.
Yeah. Project Storytime made a good point too, saying, oh, I just lost it because the chat's alive. The fact that an independent Christian film is even threatening an Indiana Jones movie tells you where Hollywood is. What a fantastic mentality. How is Indiana Jones doing? It's up to what? $71 million, or has it gone a little bit above
absolutely underperforming for the money. But that's not the big thing. Disney got grants and kickback money from the United States government to make that movie.
Well, of course they
your tax dollars help pay for Indy, ladies and gentlemen. They did not come out of the pockets of Disney. You would think that a giant multi-billion-dollar company like Disney would be, standing on its own feet.
Yeah,
it's not. Absolutely not. They're pulling in
not when they're losing billions,
hundreds of millions of dollars from the United States government are going into Disney. Your taxpayer money is flowing into Disney. It's one of the things that is kept very, very quiet. to promote their own ideology. This is your government, your U.S. government paying for propaganda. This is your U.S. government that is paying for continued propaganda to be put out, and movies like Sound of Freedom not to be made and not to be released.
Yeah, how's that working out for you now?
Fun fact, Disney had Sound of Freedom when they bought Fox, and they shelved it. And that's true. They did not want this movie coming out. The current administration, I'll put it that way, in the United States government did not want this movie coming out. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
we don't get into politics much around here, especially on Mondays. Sometimes we get into them with Mike, but we don't get into them often. Me and Zero don't get into politics often.
nah.
I want to tell you something. When an administration does not want a movie coming out and they pay to have it shelved, and then they lose the rights to it and it goes to somebody else and they do it. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy that Disney would shelve a movie to keep it from coming out just because the current administration doesn't want it coming out. It doesn't want it seeing the lights of day.
Realistically, does that really surprise you that much, given the mentality that Disney has been, encasing themselves in for the last several years now? I mean, if there was another freelance script floating around there on the same kind of platform, you think they'd shelve a few bucks over just to scoop it up, just so they own it and it will never be released. But isn't it funny how time flies and the tables turn, and now here we are.
So I'm going to pull this up. This is one of the articles that has been so controversial about what this movie is about. Rolling Stone, Save the Children. Sound of Freedom is a superhero movie for dads with brain worms. Huh? The canon-tinged thriller about child trafficking is designed to appeal to the conscience of a conspiracy-addled boomer. It's a boomer movie.
Okay, boomer.
A boomer movie. This movie is for boomers. It's just for boomers. It's designed to appeal to conspiracy boomers. Is this like, does it have something to do with the backs? It seems like every time someone comes out with something or someone raises a flag about bringing attention to some hinky shit that's going on, it's conspiracy. It's boomer.
It has to be. It has to be.
How the hell is it a conspiracy if this shit really happened?
Based on a true story. Yeah, exactly. Damn right. Based on a true story. You don't even have to base it on any story. The fact is, this sort of behavior is out there all day, every day. It happens all the time, whether we see it or not. And it sounds like someone's just choosing not to see it. It was, nope, it's a conspiracy. That would never happen. Oh, they put the movie out. Well, it must be for the conspiracy theorists about that. Directed. Well, I mean, what was it, directed by Jesse Ventura or some shit like that?
No, it was.
If it's a conspiracy, what's
the guy who directed this, guys? It's from Angel Studios. He's an Hispanic gentleman.
That's not coming to me. Best known for being tortured to death in Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ. I was just going to make a reference to that, considering when that came out, if y'all saw it, how much, turmoil that caused. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people hated it, but
Alejandro Monteverde.
That's the one. But the
gentleman who directed this film.
Yeah. But the common ground for The Passion was the brutality was, it was exaggerated. Well, whether it was or not, it was there to showcase a certain point. The point being, when shit gets real, it gets real, and it got people talking.
Arbark Saunders says this happens in our own country plenty.
Yes, it does.
But it's a conspiracy theory.
It has to be.
It's all conspiracy. It's all a conspiracy.
Yep. It can't be real. Can't be. There's no way.
Maxwell was sentenced to 30 years for trafficking children to no one. Papa Cotton. Papa Cotton.
Yeah.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah. Interesting.
Here's a question. Why is the fictional story taken, applauded, while Sound of Freedom based on an actual case targeted for vilification? Because the truth is too close to home. Chris Persia. No, absolutely. So let me, I'm going to read some of this. Based on a true story. I heard from somewhere across the theater. It is based on a true story, dumb fucks. The dumb fucks at Rolling Stones. Go back to, why are you even talking about this? Go back to giving us a top 10, bitch. The familiar words had appeared on screen, and an elderly man had taken it upon himself to read them aloud to the rest of a sizable audience seated for a matinee showing of the anti-child trafficking thriller Sound of Freedom, starring Jim Caviezel. I think that's how you say his name. God help me. For the seasoned moviegoer, this phrase is a joke. You know that cinema will stretch almost any truth to the breaking point. Really? Really? It's funny. Okay. So let me get this straight. So we're stretching everything for the truth, but everything from Viola Davis's The Woman King was absolutely positively true. So Naniska, played by Viola Davis, and Nawi and Izogi, Lashana Lynch's character, all these were real events, and they actually happened exactly the way they are in the movie. To say anything else is blasphemy, ladies and gentlemen, and you will be struck down at where you stand as an Ist, an Ob, and a Yahtzee for speaking ill of any of this movie and saying that any of it was bullshit. But Sound
this is
of Freedom,
and it's been exaggerated.
It's been exaggerated. Nothing in this movie is the truth.
Well, you know what? I guess we all better line up spread eagle against the wall so they can get ready to flog us and cast their stones, because we're the guilty ones. We're the guilty ones. So let it be known.
I could tell the audience would view the events depicted over the next 2+ hours as entirely literal. It's ma'am. Bring me my popcorn, bitch.
I'm not a sir, I'm a ma'am. Give me my popcorn before I choke slam you.
Caviezel, best known for being tortured to death in Mel Gibson's The Passion, has become a prominent figure on the conspiracist right.
Now get the fuck
giving
out
speeches and interviews in which he hints at an underground holy war between patriots and a sinister legion of evildoers who are harvesting the blood of children.
Oh my God.
It's straight up canon stuff, right down to his use of catchphrases like "the storm is upon us." Here he gets to act out some of that drama by playing a fictionalized version of Tim Ballard. Remember, fictionalized version. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, remember that everything you saw with Viola Davis and Thuthu Madubi and Lashana Lynch and is all real in The Woman King. It's all 100% factual. It's exactly what happened. They went back in time and they found out exactly what happened, and everything was played out to a T. This is exactly what happened. But none of this actually happened. It's all fictionalized. So why are they saying this? Why are they saying this? I'm going to tell you. This is what they believe. Okay.
My God.
While the film is supposed
Scientologists?
While the film is supposedly based on real events involving Ballard's OUR, the accounts of those events have been questioned by researchers. In a 2020 article in Vice, Anna Merlin said that Ballard embellished OUR's role in the rescue of a trafficked woman.
In 2020.
In 2021, a follow-up article by Tim Marchman criticized OWR's practices, including using inexperienced donors as part of its team, a lack of meaningful surveillance or identification of targets, failing to validate whether the people they intended to rescue were in fact actual victims or sex workers. I'm going to read that to you again, ladies and gentlemen. Whether the people they intended to rescue were actual trafficked victims or consensual sex workers. A 2021 article in Slate criticized a 2014 raid conducted by OUR in the Dominican Republic, saying it had caused traumatization to the trafficked children. You traumatized the children. You saved their lives. God damn it. You saved their lives, but you traumatized them by saving them. I'm going to say that again. This was in Slate. It was a 2021, it was a 2021 article in Slate that criticized a raid conducted by OUR in the Dominican Republic, saying that it traumatized the children that they saved. Traumatized the children. And this right here, children cannot be sex workers. Right there. Plain, simple. Doesn't matter whether they're consensual. They say they're consensual or not. They can't be.
Nope. There's not even, I mean, geez, what's the legal age of consent now?
It's 18 unless you are both underage.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, like, anything beyond that is pushing it. Like, we have laws in place for a reason.
So
ladies.
There are Romeo Juliet laws that state that if you can be so many years apart as long as you were like in high school together. Let's say you went to high school together and you were a junior and you dated a freshman. After you're out of high school, you can continue to date that freshman and kiss and do whatever without worried about being tried and convicted as some kind of edo, because you're older than they are now because you met while you were in high school. So there are laws to protect stuff like that. There is no consensual stuff with an adult and a child, period.
Yeah, the consensual, my ass, Jesus.
Yeah. So Mexican Iron Man with the $9.99 super chat says, F these motherfrackers. I love this movie and I've seen it a second time this week. I loved it too. I absolutely loved it too. Satan is everywhere and I'm sick of being tolerant of deviance. I'm so pissed. Well, listen, Mike, I'm going to read this again just so everybody gets the gist of this. An article in Slate, that's SLAT, criticized a raid by OUR in the Dominican Republic, saying that it traumatized the children it saved. Ann Gallagher, an author on human trafficking, wrote in 2015 that OUR had an alarming lack of understanding how sophisticated criminal trafficking must be approached.
Yeah.
You're not doing it the right way. You're not doing it the way we want you to. So Ann Gallagher, let's see who Ann Gallagher is. Ann Therese Gallagher is current 2019 Director of General Commonwealth Foundation. She is a former president of the International Catholic Migration Commission, co-chair of the International Bar Association's Presidential Task Force on Trafficking, and member of the Asia Dialogue and Forced Migration Community. An Australian-born lawyer, practitioner, and scholar, She is considered an international authority on transnation criminal law, migration, and human rights. So she says that OUR has an alarming lack of understanding how criminal trafficking must be approached.
Did she have a recommendation about how to follow through with this?
She said that OUR is arrogant, unethical, and illegal.
Unethical for what?
Saving children.
For trying to save children
for
from
trying-
a position
yes.
they should not be put into. Get the fuck out of here,
Yes.
you stupid bitch. Fuck right off. You're
Yes.
part of the problem. You are not part of the solution. You are part of the problem. How fucking sophisticated does it have to be when I mean, just look at what they're doing. If it's your goddamn children out there, would you want to say, oh, maybe I should discuss this with them in a diplomatic? No, fuck right off. Get the fuck out of our goddamn fucking universe.
Arwen Avalon, I remember when everyone, regardless of political persuasion, could all agree that hurting children was bad. Well, how is it not? How can it not be? What fucking clown world do we live in where hurting kids is now okay as long as you're on this side of the aisle? Hurting children, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whatever you're doing is wrong. Period. End of fucking discussion.
Mm-hmm.
We do not cross that line. We do not mess with that. Yet that is exactly what's happening. That is exactly what's happening. We're being told we shouldn't say anything and we need to look the other way because as long as it's this side, it's okay. We've been here before, ladies and gentlemen. It just hasn't been this issue with kids. We've been here before where it's okay for one side to do it, but it's not okay for the other. And it doesn't matter what fucking side it is. This is absolute trash. This is absolute trash. I don't know why I'm getting a Rolling Stone bullshit. Ballard himself have dabbled in Q-adjacent conspiracy theories, such as Wayfair trafficking box, which they did do, while his organization has far-right affinities and a long record of distorting its botched raids, which rely on bizarre tactics like asking psychics where to find victims for rescue. Ballard, Caviezel, and others of their ilk. Others of their ilk.
Yeah, what a way to word that.
Had primed the public to accept Sound of Freedom as a documentary rather than delusion by fomenting moral panic, a grossly exaggerated epidemic of child trafficking.
Grossly
exaggerated. Do you know how much this happens? Do you know how much this happens? They know, the press knows, they know the numbers. Mm-hmm. They know what's going on. Do you?
Anybody listening on whatever device you're currently using right now, you have access to look up sex trafficking, and that includes children. So you tell me how a case like this all over the world is grossly exaggerated. I'm not recommending you do this. Don't do this, obviously. But you can go Google something. You'll have to use your own torrents if you don't want to get caught. I'm not telling you what to do. But I'm saying anybody out there who has a connection to the outside world in this uber-connected planet we live on this day and age has the ability to go out there and look up whatever they want, and that includes cases like this. So you tell me how this is grossly exaggerated when it is out there all day, every day. Tell me how that's exaggerated.
You're talking about hundreds of thousands of people a year. Hundreds of thousands. And this is where we're going to go with this article. They have estimated this to be a $250 billion business a year. They're making $250 billion trafficking kids a year.
fucking blood money.
That's $250 billion fucking dollars.
Yep.
A year.
And who's paying for it? People
Who's
that are
paying
just,
for it?
it could be Joe Blow walking down the street right now. You don't know, but it's over exaggerated. It's over exaggerated. It has to be. Get the fuck out of here.
Listen to this. This makes me sick. It's a stomach turning experience, fetishizing the torture of its child victims. At times, I had the uncomfortable sense that I might be arrested myself just for sitting through it. That's a lie.
No, get it's fucking bullshit.
No, these fucks are fucked.
Like use a goddamn brain. That's like anybody who watched Passion of the Christ or John Wick or anything like that saying, "Oh well, this is just torture porn. This is just torture porn." It's same kind of parallel, but this is a totally different case here. This is real world shit that goes on, whether we like to acknowledge it or not. But the fact that we live in an age where someone has to say, we have to approach this the right way. No, morals and ethics in this situation apply to laws that are out there to protect children from bullshit like this. Don't fucking tell me we have to approach it a certain type of way. I'm speechless that we're at this point as a fucking society, as the human race. We have to think about how sensitive we have to be when approaching things like this. No.
Then Dean Krantz with the $10 super chat. Angry rant here. The people writing this article will all say how during the antebellum South, they would have helped slaves escape. Cowards. They would have helped the hunters. They would have helped cover up the people hunting them. They would have helped cover up the people that were trying to keep them in chains. I absolutely agree with that.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Dean Krantz, for that $10 super chat. This one's for you, brother. Skull!
Spartans! What is your profession?
Woo.
It's not Joe Blow walking down the street doing any of that. This is a rich people's habit.
Oh, okay. Then tell that to the statistics, that are out there saying how many parents out there or how many family members are doing the same thing to children in their own family. They could be broke. They could be flat broke, but it's out there. It's everywhere. I'm
gonna show you something else. I'm gonna show you something that's gonna blow your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for a bomb? Are you ready for a bomb? Because here it comes. Because Loki doesn't forget shit. Loki never forgets shit. Loki always remembers. And here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Rolling Stones, Cuties is a coming-of-age movie caught in the culture wars. A movie about 7 and 8-year-old girls twerking. Twerking.
Look at that. This article is featured in Rolling Stone.
And it's cut off, too. You got to be a member to read the full story.
Oh, of course, because you want money to read our propaganda. If they were smart, they would put that propaganda out there for free.
Thanks to a major marketing mistake, this award-winning French film has been accused of sexualizing young girls. It's actually a sensitive portrait of growing pains that deserves to be seen. Loki never fucking forgets. This is Rolling Stones saying, hey, it's okay to see these little girls, these little tiny girls twerk their asses off in a movie and sexualize themselves for your viewing pleasure.
So again, I mean, look at this right there. You've got 4 under 10-year-old children. I'm assuming, I might be wrong, but correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a movie about little girls. They're not women, they're little girls. They are still highly impressionable, and all 4 of them are making that fucking dreaded duck face.
And this is what they do not want you to know, ladies and gentlemen. This is why they are so fucking threatened by all of this. There is more slavery today than when it was legal in the United States.
Jesus.
This is what they are trying to hide from you. This is what they are trying to keep from you. Is that there's more slavery today than when it was legal. Spend 5 minutes looking up what's happening to kids being immigrated from southern Mexico, from Mexico up into the United States today. Look at how many of them, look at their stories, listen to what they're saying. It's trying to be kept quiet. It's trying to be mismanaged. They're trying to hide all the information that's coming out. These young children, when placed in families, are having their green cards held over their head and told, you are going to do everything we tell you to do, or we will get you removed from this country. We will throw you back. And they believe it. This is happening today. This is happening here. This is happening with immigration now. And they're letting it happen.
Mm-hmm. Another good point out there. Cuties had thousands of little girls twerk during their auditions for that movie. Wonder where the hours of footage for the auditions went. Someone's got it. Someone's got it somewhere. Probably hundreds of copies.
And we made those comments. We pointed all this out when this was a thing. We pointed all of this out when this was a thing. And it's still defended like it's, oh my God, one of the greatest movies ever. They will defend children being taken advantage of. They will defend children being sold into this kind of life. But they'll attack someone pointing it out.
Yep.
They will attack someone trying to bring it to the light.
Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And you know, this is God. Yep. Zero's rendered speechless. Doesn't happen often. Sometimes it's a good thing, but seriously, I mean, yeah, it's just the thing I ask myself all the time when shit like this keeps stirring around the big shit pot we call this fucking planet now. Is this the world we live in? Yep.
Children's lives and innocence are being sacrificed on the altar of Moloch, and they just don't care. No, they don't.
They don't care when it's inconvenient for them.
That's right. And they will quickly yell out that, oh my God, the twerkers and the ex-workers and all these, they're being taken advantage of because they're just trying to do this for kids. They will defend these people, shattering the lives of innocents.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll turn around and point a finger and say they're bad people for pointing this out.
Yep.
How can you do that?
So, someone in chat said, I forget who it was. I apologize. Feel free to pipe up. It was either whoever wrote the article or made these movies obviously doesn't have children. Halle freaking Luya. I mean, we can, be thankful for that. But if they do have kids, God have mercy on their soul. I mean, if you're that naive and gullible, then you shouldn't have fucking kids to begin with.
There's going to be a swing of the pendulum. And I don't want to be in the middle of it when it happens. I don't, because this is going to be a fucking reckoning, is what it's going to be. It's going to be a reckoning because these people are continuing to push and push and push and push and push. And when the typhoon pushes back, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Time will tell.
These ads are very sus. It was children's oh, yeah, I don't even want to say that. Watches being advertised on my news feed. No.
Oh my
They don't
God.
have kids, but they want yours.
Yeah.
That's right. You're gonna give them your children. Remember, they're coming for your kids.
Yeah.
They are coming for the kids.
Yeah. This
over
is why,
and over and over again.
you know, prime reason like that is that fucking ape shit mentality is why I'm sorry. I'm going to go out on a limb here. It's a very thin limb to stand on these days, but I'm going out on this limb and I'm saying you do not deserve to have your fucking rights if you have attitudes and morally bankrupt ethics like that. Get the fuck out of here. We're coming for your kids. Fuck you.
And Michael Gonzalez has a great point here. He says, I bet Slate and others are trying to make us question every rescuer by making them seem like De Niro and Taxi Driver. Sure, she got rescued, but ugh. Thank you, brother, for the $5 super chat. They don't have kids, but they want yours. I hereby volunteer for the Reckoning Day. Just so long as it's after October, because Loki needs me in October. After that reckoning, game on. Yes, we're gonna need you in October. Yeah. We're gonna need you to be there. I need you to bring the ring and be the man and all that fun shit.
Aww.
So
on a lighter note, that's something to look forward to.
Me and Mexican Iron Man got married.
Oh my God.
We got 6 kids and we're doing just fine.
Down in lunch lady land. Yeah.
Sloppy Joe.
The people, oh my God, that's what, 30 years old now. The people in chat, the people who know. Oh, good God.
Teachers hide all they can from parents. You know what? I'm going to tell you something here. I'm going to tell you something that's going to absolutely blow your fucking mind.
Again.
So I asked a 15-year-old recently. And I was real cool about it. I said, don't worry. I'm not like, super questioning you here, but who fought in World War II? No idea. Why did World War II start? No idea. Why did America enter World War II? No idea. The same 15-year-old sat and had to listen to their teacher talk about their sex proclivities in class. They had to sit there and listen to their teacher talk about their sex fetishes and proclivities, but they don't know who fought in World War II.
Is this part of the goddamn curriculum?
So this is what's going on. This is what is happening. I'm going to tell you something. If you've got kids, get them out of public school. Get them out of public school as fast as you can. I've never been the type of person that's like private school only. Find some way, even if you have to work an extra shift, work a night, something, work a weekend, get that extra money and get them into a private school as fast as you can, because this is what is happening. This is what your kids are learning. This is what they are being taught. They're not being taught about the courageous men who died on the beaches of Normandy, storming Germany and fighting against the real enemies. They're not learning about Pearl Harbor and the deaths of so many wonderful Navy enlistees and officers. They're learning about sex proclivities and sex in class and what gender they might want to be one day. That's what they're learning. They're not learning facts. Get them out of public school. They are being indoctrinated. These are indoctrination factories. This is not a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. No, I mean, true story. This goes back a few years now when my nephews were, they're growing up now, obviously, but they were, I don't know, maybe late grade school, early high school, several years ago, whatever it was. This is back when a lot of schools were starting to get used to the idea of just using emails and video conferences and all that kind of stuff to, for ease of access, to make it easier, but in essence, it's a lot more of a hands-off approach. And I once asked my nephew, "Hey, how's school going? How's school going?" Oh, blah, 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 blah. It's a long story short. I come to find out that teachers get their own personal emails with 100% confidential contact with all of their students. Parents don't see these emails. The only transaction that goes is between the teacher and the child. Parents don't have access to this sort of thing. Now, you want to ask, or if anybody out there has an explanation of why that is a thing. I'm not saying why it should be a thing, why it should not be a thing, because it is a thing. Would you not like to know what your children and their adult teacher, the shaper of their little minds, are talking about? I mean, you have to be absolutely fucking kidding me. And I'm not saying everyone out there who's, doing this sort of thing is evil. I'm sure there are teachers out there that are doing a fine job. But the fact is, privacy between a teacher and a student is one thing, but when you are shutting parents out of conversations that are happening after school hours, might I add, because this is how homework is sent, this is how all this is going on, there's something wrong here. There needs to be a lot more hands-on with what's been going on, because that is just a tiny example of some predator getting their fucking foot in the door. And I'm sorry about the ranting and raving, but I mean, again, this is the world we live in, folks.
Project Storytime says, my mother is a teacher and she didn't trust the public education system so much that my sister and I were homeschooled. Soul Assassin said, y'all remember when we were in lockdown, parents had to sign papers promising to listen in on their kids' lessons. How much of that happened?
Yeah. Who the hell knows?
How much of that happened? And how much were children set back because of all that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's the rights and privileges of the teachers and students. No. Fuck. Is there something wrong with a parent sitting in on a class once in a while? Tell me, what have you got to hide that you want to keep parents in the dark about all this? As a concerned parent, not that I am one, but concerned parents out there have the right to know what their children are absorbing in school.
This one's for you.
Yes, indeed. As far back as 2006, my stepdaughter's Chicago suburbs public high school, World War II was being taught as a sad, bad thing because of the deaths of soldiers, not the reason for the conflict. Well, what a great lesson in history that is. Would you not like to know how wars start, why wars start, the parties responsible, the outcome of that? No, it was just a bad thing that happened. We can kind of gloss over that. So look how many people died. Look how many people died.
Soldiers, not
soldiers.
People,
well,
because they act like the Holocaust didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. A case in point right there. World War I, I don't have the statistical facts to back me up on this, but yes, there were a lot of casualties. World War II, much more drastic. Why? Because of civilian casualties that were involved in that war as well. But how many kids out there are going to know that?
I shit you not. I had an argument with a teacher about World War II and the Holocaust. And I was immediately asked, was I there? I said, that has absolutely nothing to do with it. And she goes, were you there? Obviously, I wasn't even born yet. Then how do you know it happened?
Because of
and that is what they tell you. That is what they tell you. That is what the sick fucks tell you.
The fucking attitude. I'm not even a parent.
That's the exact same thing with this.
I mean, I'm not even a parent, but that literally brings my piss to a boil. I mean, Jesus, if it wouldn't be considered a crime, I would slap the absolute shit out of that teacher right then and there. Were you there? No, were you? Because then by your implication, you're in no position to fucking teach anything you don't know about, you weren't there in existence for to begin with. Get the fuck out of here. Did you invent the clouds? No. Then you have no reason to teach us about them. Did you invent the weather? No. Then you can't teach us about that either. Did you invent shapes? No. Then get the fuck out of geometry class. Seriously. The fucking mentality.
Right here.
Unbelievable.
Right here. And Arlena, the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
My Poppy Painting man, who was my grandpa, was an Army Ranger.
Yep.
I have many what would you call them? Souvenir he took off of certain troops that they extinguished. I guess that's the best way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about it. So
it's the people that survived and told these stories.
But we're not supposed to talk about it if we weren't there. We don't really know anything.
No.
Everything's propaganda. Everything's built up and exaggerated. It's all conspiracy theory because you weren't there. Do you know where the coof came from? No, you weren't there, so you can't know. It was from bad meat. Bad meat is to blame.
Yeah, it was that mad cow disease that got it all started, right?
Even though the attachment sites or whatever they're called are man-made, and the people who worked on it all were experts in attacking that junk site, attaching stuff to the junk site. In that, we're all supposed to believe that that's not what happened because we weren't there. So here's a Luger I found, and this is a German war knife. He actually did have a knife that he left me, and some patches, and a metal piece of a helmet, a metal piece they cut out of a helmet. Put the hole in this one, and here's a tooth, and there's a patch I ripped out. Yeah, I'm not shitting you. Yeah. I'm not shitting you, man, Squatch. That's not too far from the truth. That is not too. He didn't have a Luger. But he did have a knife. And what was really interesting is years later, after he passed away, when I was in, I think I was a senior, I took that into history class. And my history teacher, who was an expert, he was an actual history teacher. He wasn't like a coach or something. He looked at it and goes, that's not a German knife. He goes, see these marks at the base of the blade? I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah, these little slashes. And he goes, this used to be a file. This blade was made out of a metal file, like, file your fingernails file. He goes, this is a handmade Jewish knife.
That's
that
what
he probably
war effort and shit like that. Yeah.
That he probably took off a German soldier that had taken it off of someone that he had executed. And I was like, holy shit balls. You're not far from the truth, man. Squatch. Thank you, brother, for your comment. Mahogany Draws with $10 super chat says, though, so these sites are claiming that this film exploits workers, but are the same people who claim workers are empowering. The hypocrisy are seriously evil in regards to the outrage. No, I absolutely agree. Mahogany, I absolutely agree.
Mm-hmm.
No, the hypocrisy of what they are claiming and what they're pointing a finger at and what they're saying is bad. And then they turn around and they say, oh, this is absolutely exaggerated. Don't listen to these people. It's propaganda. This is the propaganda machine in full swing, and people are starting to see it. When you start losing the normies, you have absolutely lost the narrative. And they have, because the theaters are packed with people going to see this movie. And the people that are standing up against it and saying, don't go see this movie because it's this, that, or the other, that's out in the open. And they know what's happening. Thank you so much. Mahogany Draws for that $10 super chat. This one's just for you, brother. Skull!
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
So I guess in reality, I guess I can no longer say that a comet killed the dinosaurs. The comet did not come down and put an impact crater the size of a fucking country in there, which totally screwed up the weather, which totally screwed up the environment and totally killed off all the animals and plants. I can't say that anymore. Why? I wasn't there. It didn't happen.
No, what happened was all the dinosaurs started misgendering each other, and then they just didn't breed, and then that was it. That was the end. That's what really happened. Juster's Darth Arlena says they want everyone to forget and not teach about World War I and World War II, so they can use the same propaganda techniques to get what they want as normal, and that's exactly what they've been doing. That is exactly what they've been doing. Control the press, control the government, control the population. As long as you can control the press, which they have been doing, which the administration we have here in the United States just threw an absolute fucking fit because a judge told them you cannot contact places like Twitter and Facebook and tell them they cannot have something up on their page. You cannot dictate what people can say and what they can't on a platform, because that's what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen. They wouldn't be taking these kind of losses if they weren't trying to do that, because it wouldn't be an issue. They are telling the press, they are telling social media, they are telling everyone what they can and they can't talk about and say. They're controlling your First Amendment. You might not have First Amendment rights in another country. You might not have freedom of speech, but we do here in the United States. And they're implementing cases to stop that, because they do not want you to know the truth. They want to call us conspiracy theories. They want to say that we're talking out our ass. They want to shut down films like this for exposing the truth of what is going on.
Control the media, control information. Simple as that.
They want you to forget about World War I and World War II. They want you to forget because they want to use words like Yahtzee and is to describe everyone, so no one really knows the evil behind those words. Thank you. Gestures, Darth Arlena.
I have a small recommendation that I'm going to do myself, because it's no fault of our own, but this entire show for the last 40 minutes or so has made me want to punch several holes in my wall. So for those of you out there in the type of position I am, where you just got to calm the fuck down, go outside, take a walk, take a deep breath, drink some water, have a mental health moment, and calm yourself down. Because I know Loki and I don't really get heated like this very often, but when push comes to shove, this was a hell of a push. And you're fucking right. We're going to shove back.
This is the most asinine shit you're ever going to see in your lives. I cannot see how things are going to get more twisted, fucked up, and turned into clown world than this. And shit, if we're even worse off next year, I don't know how the hell I'm going to deal with it, because this is all kinds of screwed up and messed up and twisted and wrong. When it comes to things like this, oh my God, it's beware, because they're exaggerating the harm that these children go through. These children don't really go through that much harm. In fact, some of them consent to it. Bullshit. You cannot give consent as a child. You cannot give consent as a minor. You cannot give consent if you are a kid. You cannot do that. Period. End of story.
Whether the child even gave consent or not, that's not even the point. You can't fucking do that. I'm just going to put this right out there, because I don't even care anymore. If you, an impressionable adult, not you or you in chat, hypothetical person, you, if Joe Blow down the street sees a kid out there, a big, large, intimidating adult says, hey, want to lay down on the ground right there and spread him, child, and they proceeded to give that child a fucking vaginal pounding because they consented to it, does that fucking make it right? No, it doesn't.
And Machini Draws with the $5 super chat says, history and reality won't be too kind to those that try to hide it and rewrite it. Thank you so much, Machini Draws, for that $5 super chat, brother. Thank you, everyone that has supported the channel this morning, that has been here. And when I say support the channel, I don't just mean financially. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, thank you if you did a super chat. Just you guys being here, talking in chat, sharing out the stream. All of that is supporting the channel. I appreciate the financial support, but everyone that's been here, everyone that's watched this morning, everyone who's contributed in chat, everyone who's hit that like, everyone who's hit that share button, you are contributing to the channel, and you are supporting the channel. So thank you so very much. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Machini draws. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. This one is just for you, bro. Skull! And this one's for you too. You can read it.
Guys, I apologize. I'm honestly sitting here just seething in my fucking chair right now. Like, as soon as the show is over, I'm taking a fucking walk. Seriously. All right. But I'll do my best. Chris Persia says, but Zeropium, if we don't prevent movies like this from shining a light on what's happening, shinning a light? Way to go, Chris. If we don't prevent movies like this from shining a light on what's happening, how will maps ever be accepted? That's a really good question. And I wish I had the current brain mentality to give you a straight answer, but I don't.
You know what maps are, right?
Multi-app no. See, get me educated. What is maps?
Minor attracted person.
Minor attracted person. What, society? Is this a thing out there?
This is something that's trying to get approved into the LGBTQ X950 plus minus crowd.
Yeah. Are they the same ones that, identify as aliens now or something? It's like, oh my God.
No. The maps is a minor attracted person. So it means that they are an adult that is attracted to a minor.
And they want to make this okay?
They want to make this okay.
I'm out. Fuck it. I'm out. I'm fucking.
That's what, yeah. He's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's the end of the show. I love you all. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you for being a part of Valhalla. Thank you for watching the show this morning. We couldn't do this show without you every single day. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. On behalf of my co-host, is he back? I was gonna
I'm sorry. I had to stand up and I almost left the room, but guys, I apologize. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys are awesome. Go take a walk, take a breather, like I'm gonna do, because you guys make this all worth it. I know it was a heavy-hearted subject today, but it's the reality of the situation, folks. So thank you all for being here. You guys are great. You guys are what keeps us going. So give yourself
back. Yes, only maps I recognize are made by McNally. Yes, actual maps.
Yeah, and the ones you use to, get to places. So
yes.
Anyway, everybody in chat, give yourselves a big self high five, because you guys
Elizabeth are Young. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone. Kronos, WAP, Soul Assassin, Mountains of Elysium, Pacific 414, Arwen Avalon, Chris Persia, Shellback TJC, Soul Assassin, Moons of Madness, Arwen Avalon, Machini, Penny, Gun Bunny, Happy Dino, Happy Day, Happy Dino, Mark the Infinitely Tired, Chris Persia, Project Storytime, The Wicked Wrench of the East, Dave Bob, Dean Krantz, Tim Hayes, Angela Schmalke. Thank you guys. Dega Outlaw, Gestures, Darth Arlena's Gesture of Sin. Thank you guys so very much for being here. Everybody, take care. Marcus Felix, thank you. Project Cambrian, Michael Gonzalez. Take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to honor. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for Taco Tuesday. Take care, everybody.
breathe.
Breathe. Polly, you out there listening, Polly? Breathe. Buddha belly. Breathe. Buddha belly. Thank you, brother. Later. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great one. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to Andrew.
Party on, dudes.
Party on, Wayne. It's Wayne's world. It's Wayne's world.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.